Oh man. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and do my thing, and then I'm going to invite Bri on here, which this is going to be such a fun live tonight, y'all. If you are just joining or swiping through, I'm going to have my friend Bri on. Let's see, I'm going to send it to my mom, Connie. We're going to send it to my friend Ann. If you're here, hello, hello. I am about to invite my friend Bri on tonight, and I am so excited she's going to be on here talking about her, just in case my cousin can get on. No pressure, though. No pressure. Who else could I send this to? I think Alyssa's busy, so we won't bother her. So hopefully I sent that to the right people. Anyways, let me invite my friend Bri on, co-host. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I think you can.
All right. I
Hi.
hear you.
Oh, you can see. Can you see me
Okay.
now? I feel like I'm
I
so
can't
big.
see you yet. I can't. I don't know. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
I know, it's like, okay, I have us on the computer and I'm
When did
like,
it get like this big?
this is aggressive. Let me,
Right. I was expecting like a little small squares because I'm doing this on my laptop. So this
same.
is like
That must be
completely
why.
different.
Well, I'm on a
Yes.
like desktop, but still. Okay, so this is like
Yeah.
we're gonna have
Okay.
to try not to like be distracted, but I'm gonna like have to take a picture and
By
send
how
it to
big
you.
we are. I'm like trying to scoot back so it's
Same.
not
I'm
just
like,
so much
you can see my
screen.
laundry in the back. I was trying to hide it, but here we go. I think that this is
It's like you
okay.
could see my pores with how close I was.
Oh, I have the smoother effect on, Bri. All the enhancements, I have those on. Make me look like I have no
Yeah, I
wrinkles.
tried finding those. I couldn't. I tried finding them. I don't know
Well,
what in
first
the
of
world,
all,
like how to use the
the
like.
fact you don't have any on and this is what your skin looks like I am just beyond jealous. Like,
It's if I get close enough to the camera, trust me, you're gonna be like, what in the
no,
world?
no, absolutely not. You look beautiful. I want your skin. But, anyways, so I
Oh,
see
thank you.
Katie and Rachel
First,
are
can you
in.
hear me well? Because it told me that it's not.
Yeah, I can
Oops,
hear you
sorry.
perfect. I can hear
Okay.
you perfect.
Okay, it told me for some odd reason turn down your background music because it can't hear you, and I don't have anything on.
Yeah.
So
It might be catching because if you're
I
sitting
don't
out
know.
in your garage, it might be catching the fan. I can't hear the fan, but it might be catching the
Oh,
fan. I
I
have a
have the
fan.
wind mic on for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. That
Yeah,
I
I
was
have the
just
fan on
thinking.
too, but I
Yeah.
have it on the lowest setting possible.
Okay, yeah. I have
So,
a fan on because I'm in like this edition and it doesn't have AC yet, so it's warm. I'm like, I put this little jacket on just to like, but I probably might have to take it off like halfway through this. Okay. I see Rachel is
yeah.
on, Katie is on. I sent this to a few people. I don't know if you want to send it to anybody that you had in mind that you might want to jump on. Um, is it your first time using the
I'm
laptop?
still trying to figure out how in the world to do this.
So at the top, there's
Yes, it
something that
is.
says live info. If you click the little arrow, get your
Okay, yeah.
phone, go to your profile page on your phone on TikTok, and you see this little person
Okay.
in the corner with the plus sign.
Yes.
You'll click that, and then in this
Little person in
corner,
the corner with a plus sign.
there's a little square. You'll click that, and then you can
Uh-huh.
scan the QR code that comes up.
Okay, perfect.
That's my friend Bri, but you're not supposed to be in here. Can you please go back out into the living room? So we'll share it out. We'll let people jump on. It looks like we have 10 people on right now. Hi, Winona. Hi, Katie. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, guys.
No, we're not playing a game. I'm so
Perfect.
sorry. Go sit down, okay?
Playing games.
Come on. Come on. Oh, my goodness gracious. My husband is not available to get him right now. He's in the bathroom. Come on.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Fortunately, ours are already all in bed and asleep. So.
Okay, yes. No, the youngest is down. He just went down, but my youngest or my middle normally stays up sometimes. He's not a good scheduled sleeper yet. But all right. So if you I guess we
Oh,
can go ahead
no.
and like get started. I have this recording like I've told Melissa and
Yeah.
my friend India. I am having troubles uploading this to CapCut for me to edit them. So I'm still in the process of trying to figure that out, but I am going to record it so eventually I can have it posted.
Okay.
So just wanted to let you know that. But if you're new here on the lives that I do here Thursday, this is my friend Bri. We met through Bible study. Who Rachel, Jesus and Family in the comments. She does the Bible study Monday through Friday, and that is where we met. And Bri, I just have to say that like you are the best commentary person in Bible study ever. You're so knowledgeable. Like you come in with the facts. You and Rachel, I swear you guys had to sit down and plan before because she'd be like, "Oh, I was about to talk about that. Like bring that up." Like I love it so much.
No. Promise we don't.
But if you wanted to tell a little bit about yourself here for the people who might not know you just yet, tell a little bit about yourself. And so, what we're going to be talking about tonight is that Bri has a new program coming out, which is Free in 40, right? Free in 40, and it's a women's devotional
Yeah.
workout fitness plan. So, but I wanted to like talk about your background before we really
Yeah.
get into that. So,
Yeah. Okay. So just like my background with like fitness or like what exactly are you looking
yeah,
for?
okay.
So I know not to go off on a tangent.
So let's start with your faith background. When did you come into your faith? How long have you been
Okay.
a Christian? I'm technically a baby Christian, so I need to know how smart you got and how long you had to get this smart.
Well, goodness. Okay, so every testimony is legitimately like God just showing how much he cares and he's there, right?
Yeah.
That is mine to a T. So like a big giant summary recap of it would be that got baptized when I was 7. However, it wasn't for like the right reasons. I was a newbie in church. We were newly going to church. So it wasn't like I had been going since I was a baby. And I honestly told my mom I wanted to get baptized because we were watching a show. And this is going to sound really weird, but I promise this is what happened. During the show, it was a tragedy. A lot of people died, but one person. And I remember turning to my mom and I was like, why did this one person live? And she said, well, God probably had something still to do with him. And I'm like 7 at this point, not really understanding. So I proceeded to say, okay, well, did all the other people like go to heaven? Like, what are they doing? This was the first time my mom had never said yes. Because before, like when you're so young, your parents don't want you to know about, they want to keep your innocence. They want you to know about hell and that there is this place. So my parents had never brought it up before. I never knew that there was such a place. And so when when I had brought that up to mom, and she said, well, depends. If they're following Christ, then
Yeah.
maybe. I said, what do you mean? And that's when she explained it to me a little bit more. And that's when I said, okay, well, I want to get baptized because I don't want to go to this awful place. And so it really wasn't with like Christ as the intention. It was
Yeah.
more so I didn't want to go to hell. And so because of that, I went on, I got baptized again, really wasn't in it for the right reasons, didn't really know what I was doing. Probably didn't really get into my faith much until probably, I want to say, goodness, like 5th or 6th grade. I started to go to like a Christian camp, and I went for like the next 4 or 5 summers. And that's kind of what really got me into it. So much so that
Wow.
I became known as like the Christian girl. I went to a really small school. I was in a small town, grew up in a small town. I had 28 in my graduating class. We had pre-K through
What?
senior high under one roof. So
That's
everybody knew
crazy.
everybody. They knew all your details about you, everything. So it was, yeah. So everybody knew, like, I loved God. They knew that. And honestly, it blew up to the point where, I had one of the purity rings and the men in the school started to create a bet against me. And I didn't
Oh my
realize this
gosh.
until I had already dated 2 of them. And it wasn't until the second one, and he like finally told me when we broke up that the boys in the high school had a bet as to who could get me to lose my virginity first. And I was like,
This
oh,
is
well, I was
wild.
a freshman being told this. And so I was like, okay, yeah, not what I wanted to, I'm sorry, I was a sophomore, not what I wanted to hear. So after that, kind of really just stopped talking to the guys in our group, in our school.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time of this, it's important to know that my dad, for some odd reason, like cut me off. Don't know what was going on. Still to this day, don't know what happened. For about 2 years, he avoided me. He
Wow.
wouldn't talk to me. He would leave the room if I walked in, stopped saying, I love you, would tell me, I don't care where you go, as long as it's like, I have no idea what was going on. Still to this day, I don't. We are back. We are amazing. It was like somewhere in my senior year, things changed and we were back. Like
Were
no
your
idea what happened.
were your
But
parents separated?
so during that time, like obviously now I'm starting to struggle with this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think we're lagging just a little bit. So if I
Nope,
start talking
no,
later, I think there's a little bit of lag. But were your parents separated during this time, or were you all living in the
yeah,
same house?
no. We were all living in the same house. They weren't separated. Nothing
Wow.
to
Well,
that
I know
extent.
that had to hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was definitely something that impacted like the next few things that happened that really just flipped my faith on its head, like completely and truthfully just flipped it on its head. Um, Again, sophomore year, found out about the bet. Come to like the springtime of the sophomore year, I started talking to a different guy from a different school, and it was just friends. He knew what was going on with me and my dad, and he was going through a lot with his father too. So he was kind of like a sounding board in a sense. He
Mm-hmm.
was a couple years older than me, so he was kind of like just trying to encourage me with a lot of things. And unfortunately, I took that friendship, trusted it way too much, and he essayed to be safe on here,
Oh,
and stole
friend.
that from me. And
Yeah.
so this precious thing that I like, when you're a Christian, especially when you're young and you're a girl and you have all these thoughts about just your purity and just everything about it, and then something like that happens, like I literally felt like I could not face God. Like there is no way I could go before him. There is no way that I could go to church anymore. There's no way I could pray. Like I felt like I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even look at my Bible, that I was that filthy. And unfortunately, I was told some things that prevented me from telling anybody for about like 2 years. And so for about 2 to 3 years, I stopped with everything and anything God related. Like, I didn't go to church. I lied to my mom. I would pretend I was leaving, but I would drive around for like however long, come back,
Wow.
just like, pretended for however long. And it wasn't until I was in college when I was trying to get back on track. And I had started to. I was doing athletic training through the school. So there was a guy on the football team who, big Christian. And so we were connecting a lot. And we were doing Bible studies together. He knew about everything that was going on in my past. And because of that, he was just like, let me bring you back in. Like, let's come back in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, what ended up being my junior year, I was working with one of the teams again, and it was coming to the end of me working with the team. So I had been with them for a while. I knew one of the guys on there really well from having working with them. And he said, hey, since you're done, when you're a student AT, this is important to know, you can't hang out with the athletes unless you've had a relationship prior to becoming a student AT. So he said, hey, you're done working with us. You're allowed to hang out with us now. Come hang out, have a big movie night with all of us, end the whole season.
Yeah.
And so said, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll do that. But I had this gut feeling in me to let my roommates know, hey, I trust this guy, but something in me is telling me to tell you guys, if I don't text you at a certain point, please call me. Call me, come up with some random excuse for me to come back. I don't know why. I had that gut feeling. And I mean, come to find out, it's not gut, it's always the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
But just had this gut feeling. So go to hang out, come to find out, it was nobody else but me. He sent all of his roommates upstairs, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I was so confused. And he said that nobody else could show up, nobody else could be there. And that everybody else canceled. He said, so are you still cool with hanging out, watching a movie? We'll be here in the living room. My roommates are upstairs. And I said, oh, yeah, sure, I guess. So went in, started watching a movie, and you could tell, I mean, I'm not going to go into specifics. I think that you can figure out things started to go in a way that was making me very unsettled. Wasn't really feeling so good with it. And not to get too graphic, but he had removed me from the living room to a different place to where I could not get a hold of my phone.
Oh my goodness.
I kept, obviously telling him no, my phone was just going off.
Yeah.
It was going off. It was going off. It was going off. Yeah. And I was like, eventually it got to the point where the phone going off so much irritated him. And he was like, just go get it. I'm done hearing it. Just go get it. And I was like, goodness, go to grab my phone. It's my roommates. And they're like, hey, you haven't reached out to us. We're calling you. Are you okay? We've called it several times. And then also the thing is that my service was so spotty where he lived. So the fact that a phone call even went through at that was just astonishing, because it was one of those areas where you're sending text messages and it seems like nothing's going through, right?
Yeah.
So I was astonished that the phone call went through in the first place. And then I was like, yep, okay, your tire's flat. I'll come get you. And I made up a complete lie and I got out of there. And I remember I went back to the apartment and my roommates were waiting in the living room for me. In the living room's soon as you open up the door, I shut the door and I fell to the ground screaming. I told him no, he wouldn't stop. So they picked me up, brought me to my room. And this is the first time my parents were ever told about anything. I called them because I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know who else to talk to, what else to do. So now they're finding out about both cases and this one scenario of me just losing my mind. My roommate had to grab it. When we got done talking to them, she said, is there anybody else I can call for you? And so I told her, call, my friend from the football team. She called him. He immediately came over. He was on his way to go do something with the team. He turned around, he came back, and he just prayed with me. Like he prayed, and I remember being so frustrated that I was like,
Yes.
I don't understand. Why did this happen? Like I was getting back on track with God. I was on track with God before the first time happened. And now I'm getting back on track, and it happened again. Like make this make sense to me, because if good things are supposed to happen to us, I don't understand why this is happening. And
Yeah.
it was the pivotal moment where he said, God didn't do this to you. God got you out of there. He got you out of the first time, which you don't realize it, by making you go to a different place. You shut down, you went to a different place. The second time, he got you out by making a phone call that more than likely wouldn't have go through, and your roommates not to give up.
Yeah.
And so then he proceeded to talk about how these horrible things that we can go through, God doesn't like them. He doesn't love them. He doesn't want them. He doesn't care for them.
Yeah.
But because of those, he can use them, one, to bring us closer to him, and two, to eventually help somebody else out. And that's
Yeah.
kind of where my relationship with him really took a turn. And I ended up weeks later rededicating my life to Christ. And so, I mean, there's like tons more that's happened after that, but that's like the big pivotal moment that kind of like set it off.
Yeah. Wow. That is deep, girl. That is very deep. And like, I feel like for you to be able to have been just starting to come back to Jesus, and then for that to happen again, you trusted somebody and they took advantage of you again, and for you to so quickly be able to be like, okay, God, this was not God. Like, yes, I went through this, but God did not have it. And for you to separate that, like, I know personally, I've gone through things, and like, I don't want to blame God for that, but it's a struggle. You're in my head, I'm thinking like, God, I'm a good person. I'm trying to do the right thing. And so I just
It
props to
is.
you for being able to make that I'm trying to think of the right word, that break between the two things, and know that hey, God is good, that there is evil and free will, and unfortunately people are going to misuse that free will. So I just really do like give you props for that, because that is
Yeah.
tough. I know people who have gone through things at that age who are in their 50s, and older, who are still struggling to like do that. So I do just give you some props, girl, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Like, praise God that your friends did not give up on calling you. Like, those are some good friends. Like, those are the friends you want in your corner.
Yes.
And another thing too, it's like
They
this
are.
is yeah, this is proof that it
Yes.
is important to have people in your
Definitely.
corner who are Christians, or who are going to sharpen you and remind you of how good God is. And I have been trying to lean on that so much lately. Lean on you guys, lean on my new like friends that I have made who are Christian, because y'all are the best and I need y'all. And so it does show you that you really need Christian people in your life to help keep you on track, because we're humans.
You do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so this happened, you got
Yes.
rededicated, you got
Yes.
your back on track with Jesus, and so then that was your senior year of high school, and then you went into college, and then this is kind of when you started like getting into your fitness journey. Had you always been into your fitness? How did that look for you?
Yeah. So, goodness. I had kind of been into it. I think the reason why, when I was in high school, I wanted to become a physical therapist. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a physical therapist, open my own business. I was so into sports in high school. I mean, such a small school, I could do 2 to 3 sports a semester. So
Oh yeah.
for me, being around that type of environment was something that I wanted to do. And when I started doing athletic training through my college, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like I love this stuff. But I was also so much battling body image issues, like to the point where one of my roommates who was going through like psych classes and everything told me, so I've never been diagnosed, but she said, you are showing classic signs of like body dysmorphia. Like the
Yeah.
things that I was doing to try and lose weight was absolutely ridiculous. Like they were not safe. They were dangerous. And so I wanted to learn more about how to lose weight, because at that point in time, I wanted to do it because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in with what I was seeing on campus, with my roommates, with X, Y, and Z. Like, I just wanted to fit in and look like one of these girls, this, that, and the other. And so that's when I started to get involved in fitness stuff, like actually doing the coursework and the classes, not necessarily because I wanted to, like, I don't know what my mindset was, other than I want to know this stuff because I want to be able to look like so-and-so, right?
Yes,
And so
I
I think
get
that's
that.
kind of how I started to get into it. I was taking all the classes, and so I got my bachelor's. Yeah, I got my bachelor's with health sciences and a athletic training emphasis, but then that's when I went on to go get my master's for everything else.
Yeah, which that's crazy. I had no idea like that you had your master's in this. Like that is impressive. Like, girl, that is hard work. And where did you go to college at? I don't think I know
Thank
exactly
you.
where you're at.
So because I grew up in Missouri. I
Okay.
currently live in Georgia, but I grew up in Missouri. That's where I spent like the majority of my life. I went to Mizzou, University of Missouri, go Tigers, for my bachelor's. And then for my master's, I actually did it all online through CalU.
Okay, yeah. So your master's was in exercise science. Sorry, Rachel asked what your master's was in.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, yeah, I can't see any chat, so
Oh, okay,
let
okay.
me
I
know if
got you,
there's
girl.
questions.
Yes, I got you.
My master's, this is a long one, so bear with me. It's it's Master of Science in Exercise Science, Health Promotion, Rehabilitation Science, and Injury Prevention.
Girl, that's a list. That's awesome. How long did it take you to do that?
It is. So it was an accelerated program, and it was just a year long. So it was constant. We had no holiday breaks. It was an
Wow.
accelerated year-long program.
Yes, that, oh my gosh, girl, you are like a go-getter. Let me tell you, you are a go-getter. To do that in a year and accelerated. I have had friends who have gotten their
I
masters
am.
and it was like 18 months and they it was
Mm-hmm.
so hard and difficult. I'm not even going to lie or
Hey.
just whatever. I got my associates in business, and then I got my job where I currently work today. Because I was pregnant, I got pregnant. I went to school when my son turned 2. I got my job and started my bachelor's program. I couldn't even pass freaking what is it? Statistics. So I did not get my bachelor's degree because they wouldn't let me take any other class to start with than statistics, which is so funny because I'm a financial analyst and like I do statistics. So it just it worked itself out. But girl, I just
Hey, less student debt that you have to deal with, so that's
yes, I still
okay.
have too much, but yes. Rachel said it took her 3 years to get her master's because of writing the dang thesis. I just am around all these like masters. Y'all are also smart. I love it. I love it though. Okay. So after you got your master's, what did you do coming straight out of college?
So, straight out of college is when I went in to get my master's. So I was actually working at the hospital in the ER department while I was getting my master's. And originally, this is just how God works. It's so, my goal was to do this in order to go on and like do a master's in athletic training, because I kind of had put the physical therapy thing on the back burner because one of our professors said, hey, if you're going to go into like the sports field of it, you need to be in athletic training. So my
Okay.
focus shifted. I was doing this master's in order to help me get to the athletic training portion of it. And I actually would have been moving down to like South Carolina to do my master's. But I started dating my now husband and I didn't go,
Yeah.
which is why I ended up doing online. And then we were going to figure it out later. And then after that, once he graduated college, I stayed back and stayed in Columbia while he was wrapping up, because I'm a year older than him. While he was wrapping up, once he graduated, we both were going to move to Kansas City. He was going to get a job at a corporation there. And so I moved down well before he did, and I started working at a gym. It was the worst time of my life.
Oh, no.
I was working as a trainer. It wasn't like because of the people or anything. It was because of actually like the employer and the employees.
Oh, been
It
there.
was just so toxic. It was so toxic. The body image issues, things that I was dealing with, it did not help with whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I actually went on to be a rehab specialist at a chiropractic clinic. And so doing corrective exercise rehab with clients and patients. And then I ended up doing fitness specialist at the same corporation that my husband, well, back then, just boyfriend, fiance, was working at. And I did that for about a year and a half. And then we pulled me out so that I could start pursuing school again. I was going to go back and start working on my doctorate for physical therapy. That was the program I was about to go into. We pulled that and instead shifted it. Again, we were shifting everything because just the things that were like not working out, not happening. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe God is saying this is just not it. This is not where I'm meant to go. And so we were going to make me go into nursing. I was going to do an accelerated nursing program. So it's going to take a year to do it. But just a couple months before my schooling was supposed to start, we found out that I was pregnant and that I was pregnant with twins. So at that point, we were like, they don't offer with the accelerated program, their maternity leave is not great whatsoever. And so we were like, okay, we'll put off nursing school again. And then that's when COVID happened. So that was 2020 when I was going through like the second half of my pregnancy. And we were just like, you know what? We were feeling pulled and called because we did a fast, and we ended up talking to each other one day. Like we hadn't been talking to each other about kind of like what we were feeling during the said fast. And so then when we started talking about it, I was like, you know what? I need to talk to you about something. There's two things that I'm feeling being pulled on my heart. One, I'm being pulled to leave the church that we're currently at. Like there's just something that isn't sitting right there. And second, I know you're probably not going to like this, but I'm feeling called to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I don't feel called to go back to work right now, like, or do any of that. Like, I just feel like I'm supposed to be here with our son. And so he actually told me, my husband did, that he felt the exact same. Like, he was having the exact same pulls on his heart to leave the church as well. Like he didn't understand why, but he had the exact same thoughts. And I mean, we had been through some pretty not great things with the church at this point, because we ended up losing my son's sister partway through the pregnancy, and the way that the church handled that was not great. It was just a very negative thing. And maybe that had something to do with it, but anyway, we both had these feelings and we're like, okay, so we need to investigate this. And then fast forward to where my son is now a year old and it's 2021. I get a pull on my heart. I was doing actually a MLM. I'm not going to name the company, but I was doing one. I'm pretty sure you can probably figure out which one I was doing. I decided to leave it. I didn't agree with things that were happening in it. I didn't like what was going on with it. And I felt this pull to start my own business. And so August 31st of 2021, my business was born.
Yes. Okay. So your business is your personal trainer. Is it all online, or do you do like in-person clients? Okay. Yeah. I've seen your videos. You are hardcore. You are hardcore, girl. I'm like so impressed by you. And so when you and your husband met, I like to like get a little personal. When you and your husband met, was he also in the church? Like, how did you guys meet?
No, he was not. It's kind of a funny story. So it was my junior year of college. And again, certain things were happening to where I just so happened to have to stay at a certain room and apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived above us. And I was going through rush. I was in a sorority for a little bit and then I dropped out of it because it was, again, just very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And so during that time, I was going through the rush week. If anybody understands rush week, it is so miserable. And at this point, I was in the sorority. So we were doing all like the practicing and all the different things. And it was like almost 16, 18 hours of you doing constantly stuff. It was draining. And we
Yes.
had our big first day of rush for like the new people to come in the following day. And I remember going to bed and I was like, this is like the first time I'm getting like 5 hours of sleep. And all of a sudden I hear upstairs like this obnoxious pounding. And I'm like, what is that? No, like this is the first 5 hours of sleep I'm getting in like 2 weeks. I'm getting these 5 hours of sleep. I was so frustrated. I like bursted out of my bedroom door. My roommates are in the living room. I get out like a piece of paper and a pen. I'm like, be quiet and we'll get you dinner. And then I go upstairs and I stick it on their door. And come to find out, that's where my now husband lived. And the next day they apparently tried to come down and meet us, but we weren't there. So they came down and they made chocolate chip cookies, but I'm allergic to chocolate. So that was kind of funny, but they put it on our little porch chair thing. And they said, we tried to meet you. We're so sorry about the noise, but we would love to meet and catch up. And then from there, it was fun. Like I really didn't like him at first because
Yeah.
he was a lacrosse player, but when he introduced himself, he was like very so much. I'm like big time lacrosse player. And I was like, I don't like that. Like,
Yeah.
I work with enough athletes as it is. I don't need to hear this from you. But after a couple times hanging out, like it was definitely one of those things where we just became like instant friends. Like we were telling each other like all of our secrets or things from our past or like what we were going, like we just became really good friends. And it
Mm-hmm.
honestly wasn't until 2 years later when I was finally a senior, weeks before having to graduate, when we finally started dating. So it was a long time in the making.
Well, that's amazing. I love hearing how like people meet because I feel like true love always meets is like that in the wild. Like you meet each other and you're like, what is going on? I do not like this person. You're annoying, or like
Mhm.
something like happened. So I love that so much. That's so cute. And so yeah, in the wild.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
so he wasn't in the church. So, you like convinced him to go to church with you? Like, how did that work out for you guys?
No.
Because now it seems like you both are very much in your faith, and like at that point, you guys were going to church together and talking to the Lord together and doing fasts and stuff.
Mhm.
So that's a big transition.
Yeah. Yeah, so even as friends, there were a couple times where he wanted to go to church with us.
Hmm.
I mean, he grew up and he said that he went to church a little bit. He used to be in their church's band when he was like in middle school, and then he just kind of dropped out of it. He said like, he just didn't understand a lot with like God and Jesus. Like he understood the basics of it, but
Hmm.
to him it was like, well, I don't understand why, you can't do X, Y, and Z. Like I don't understand why this isn't okay. I don't understand why if you're just like a good person. And so he kind of battled with that and wrestled with that. So
Hmm.
when we were friends, he started to want to go to church more with me, just asking if he could go a little bit more. And then it wasn't until, goodness, I think I was a senior, he was a junior, and he had actually come over because at the time I was a leader for K-Life. I had been a leader in K-Life since like my sophomore year in high school, which is kind of like Young Life, if anybody knows what that is. Basically, it's college students work with the youth in the area. And so I
Okay.
was overseeing high school girls, like a group of high school girls, love them to death, still connected to some of them. But basically we would do weekly Bible studies with them. We would lead them. It was me and then two other leads, and then there would be one big giant hangout for every single high school student, kind of like a youth group night. And
Hmm.
then that just kept happening, stuff like that. So anyway, he would come over to our apartment sometimes to study while we were having our study with these high school girls. And so he'd kind of be off in the corner. And so eventually he just started to like pick up on things and hear
Hmm.
things. And that's when he said that he wanted to start to learn a little bit more. And he actually came with me one night. I said, do you just want to come with me one night? Like, do you just want to like see what K-Life's about? Like, I know it's not for us, it's for the kids, but do you just want to come? And so he went, he came, and he actually connected with the male lead for K-Life. So he's like, the male lead is basically the one that oversees the whole entire K-Life for just in general K-Life, but also for the boys section. And today they are still very good friends. And he was kind of his mentor, and he kind of brought him into learning more. They did one-on-one studies together. And over time, he just developed this love for Christ. And it wasn't until, I want to say maybe, I think we were engaged. I don't think we were married yet. I think it was shortly before we got married, but that's when he came to Christ and he got baptized. So somewhere, I think it was like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there.
That's awesome. That's so awesome that you guys like got married right after that and just were married in Christ's eyes. Like I'm so like I don't want to say envious, but envious of that. Like I always tell my husband, like I want to get remarried, knowing now what just knowing Christ. And we're still on the him going to church and stuff with me. He's not there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I love that. I love that. You helped also help like lead him in. Like here you go. You can do it on your own, but here you go. I love that. And I love just how much a part of the community you were. Like, so what, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? I think we're similarly aged. I'm 33.
I'm 32.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we're
I turned
like
33 September 15th. So coming up on that.
okay, your birthday's coming up. All right. Yeah, so we're like right there in the same age, so same age group. I'm just a little bit older. My birthday was in July. So okay, so I was just like, so I know that you said that you struggled with body image issues, and I have personally struggled with body image issues all throughout my life. And I think a lot of it had to do too with like I love my mom to death, and I'm like not angry at her or anything, but she struggled with it, and so I feel like it kind of like I saw her struggling with it, and so I had body image issues or body image issues. I was always kind of like the chunky kid. I got made fun of in school. Then I lost a whole bunch of weight, and then people were saying stuff about me losing weight.
Yep.
And then it's just like, you just always have like these standards you're supposed to meet, like you talked about the other night. Like you have these standards you're supposed to meet, and especially being in the fitness industry, because prior to me having my son, I was in the gym. Like I was working out. I was going at least once a day. I would work 12-hour shifts, get off, go to the gym. Like I was in the gym just so that I could like be skinny. And I probably undiagnosed, I definitely had some form of like eating disorder slash I was addicted to like those like diet pills, like which is so dangerous, and I hate admitting that, but I'm telling you, like hydroxycut, you go to GNC, they're like, oh, this, like so crazy. So whenever I seen your videos and like how you are incorporating Jesus and his strength and like how your worth is tied to him, and like our body, we're so much more than our bodies, and like our fitness and our health isn't for what we look like, it's to take care of this temple that we have. And so I wanted to just kind of chat about how that has played out for you, and how Jesus and like your relationship with Christ has helped with your body image, and how you kind of like develop that into your workouts and things like that.
Yeah. Goodness. It's one of those things where I wish I could say that it happened a lot sooner than it did, where God really just like kind of, smacked me upside the head and said, wake up. Like, this isn't how you're supposed to live. It was very similar to you. It was, I'm trying all the wraps. I'm trying the juice cleanses. I'm trying all the diet pills. Like, I would be trying 3 different types of diet pills at the same time. Diuretic, like doing all of that stuff, going long periods of fasting and just it's skimping out on things. And then I fell into bit, like all those things I was doing. And honestly, it carried over until I truthfully started to turn my business into one that focused on moms. Because originally I was like, you know, I could show pictures of me before having kids, and I was so incredibly thin. I was so incredibly leaned out. And I would get comments on all the time, but I'd look at it and be like, what are you talking about? I still need to lose weight. Like,
Yes.
I don't feel good in my clothes, which I don't know how I didn't, but it was just one of those things, and it carried over. And then you have kids, and it's just the way that the hormones operate after having kids, it just messes with the way that you view yourself, with the way that you think about yourself. And especially when we as moms, we are told so often, you got to bounce back. You have to bounce back. You have to get back into doing this. You have to get back to doing that. Like, oh my goodness, if you can't bounce back, your husband's going to leave you. Like, what are you talking about? You can't go hang out with these other moms because you look like this now. You got to be able to do this. You got to keep up with your kids. So many different things. And it wasn't until having my first, and again, remember, I started my business in 2021, but when I first started it, it wasn't for moms. I think within like the first 6 months, I started to change it into moms, but originally it wasn't. But I felt the pull, change it to moms, because this is a group that gets so neglected and so overlooked when it comes to our body image, our health in general, like women's health in general. That is a whole different topic, but moms as well. We are just told it's part of motherhood. Just go fix it. It's part of motherhood. Just deal with it. We're told that we're supposed to do all these different things. And then if you look at all the different advertisements for moms out there, wear this, do this, have this, eat this, and you're going to lose that mom pooch, or you're going to lose that baby weight. And there's so much focus on it that moms start to look at it. And the amount of clients that I have worked with who say how much they despise their body. And I think there was one time I was working with a client once, and this was, I had just started to turn my business to focus on moms. And at the time, I had one-on-one training as one of the things people could purchase. I actually took it away this year, but I was working one-on-one with this mom, and she had just had a baby. She was about 5 months postpartum. And we had our one-on-one meeting we had weekly one-on-ones. And during one of these meetings, she got on, and I was like, hey, what's up? And you could just tell. You could tell like something was just mentally blocking her, and she just wasn't there. And I was like, what's up? Like, what's going on? And she said, it's nothing. Like, I don't want to, necessarily just share it out there. Like, you don't need to hear it. And I said, yes, I do. Like, I am your trainer. Part of my job, part of your health is your mental health. And I care about that just as much, if not more, than your physical health, because it impacts your physical health. So talk to me. What's going on? And she proceeded to say how she was out with some friends. And while she was out with some friends, she went to go get a drink, and she came back, and their backs were turned to her, so they couldn't see her. And she overheard them talking about how when they were about like 2 months postpartum, they had already lost the weight. And one of them was saying, I don't know how, her husband can even deal with this right now. Like, how is he even attracted to her? She's talking about they're wanting more kids. We think that he's saying that just to like make her happy. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart. And I think that's when I was like, that's like the first time, that was the first time I ever said, can I please just pray? Like right now in our one-on-one, can I just pray for you? I had never done that before, but it was one of those things I just felt the need to pray. After that, I was like, okay, something needs to change, because there is so much weight, and not like physical weight, but pressure from the world on moms to look a certain way, to act a certain way, to be a certain way, to be accepted by this world. And we are told, don't try to be accepted by it. And that's why identity is such a big thing in my heart, and why I like to talk about it a lot. As you could tell, that was like the first Devo that I did on here. And it's because we as moms, we are so vulnerable. We are so vulnerable. The enemy knows that. He knows the quickest way to trigger us. Our hormones are all over the place. Science has shown it is the biggest biggest hormone shift anybody ever has to go through,
Mm-hmm.
we don't regulate until 2 years after giving
Yeah.
birth. And so if you have kids before that point, well, your hormones just keep going whack. And just to think of like the pressures that we have, I was like, okay, so what do you want me to do, God? Like, what do you want me to do? And slowly I started to incorporate just praying before the workouts, praying for the moms that did the workouts, praying for what to say during the workouts. And then I started to slowly like actually incorporating saying things about Christ, about God,
Mm-hmm.
about identity, about the enemy and how he's trying to destroy you. I started to slowly incorporating that. And then after time, I just felt God say, like, just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give it to me, because there's moms out there who need to hear that their worth, their identity, their value isn't determined by the size of clothes they wear. I want you to teach them how to honor their body, how to take care of their body, how to treat this temple that I have blessed them with in the right way, and how to do it to bring honor to me. But I also want you to show them the way the world is talking to them is not it. It's not the truth. It's not even remotely what I say. And they need to hear it because they are vulnerable. And you know it because you've been through it. So now I need you to teach them it. And so that was kind of where I really shifted everything around and really just planted God at the center.
I love that so much. And honestly, like I'm kind of emotional a little bit because it's like there is not for us to all experience that. There's a lot of mamas in this world, okay? And there's a lot of Christian mamas in this world, and we all are going through this, but nobody is out here talking about this. Like, I don't think that for me to have struggled with this, like pretty much I've been a mom for
Right.
11 years now,
Right.
and like there's no one that I've found who is like giving it to God and showing us how to give it to God and like showing us truly like that we are so much more. We're worth so much more. Like this is our temple. Like this body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Like to turn against the world and just be like, this isn't what we're here for. We're not here to impress people. We're not here to like have our bodies looking a certain way. And like
Yeah.
the way that you said the enemy literally attacks you and knows how to attack you, knows how to trigger you just to make you feel so unattractive in your mind. I was thinking about this the other day.
He
Um,
does.
your mind just gets in such a dark, ugly space whenever this happens, and you're not thinking about anything else. You're not able to really like live your life because you're just worried about what you look like, how much you weigh, how your clothes are fitting. Like there was times where it didn't matter what I put on, I would always feel unattractive,
Yep.
like heavy, like and being a taller girl, I talked with Rachel about this the other day. It was the day that you did your live, I think. I was like, being a taller person, like my weight is never, I'm never going to be 120 pounds. Like if I was 120 pounds, like it just wouldn't look right, you know? Whereas like someone who's shorter is like that, oh, you're 120 pounds, you're
Yes.
cute and petite and stuff. And in my
That
mind,
would
I'm
be
like,
dangerous.
yeah. And then in my mind, I'm like, I'm sitting at 160 and that's where I should be. And but everyone's like, "Oh, you're 160." Like, you just get so caught up in this and like it's so isolating and it's so lonely and like
Mm-hmm.
that is so needed. So I'm just like so grateful
Yep.
that you did listen to him and you gave it all to him because just the few things that I've seen from you, I just like have been so motivated and like the way that you do it is so great. Like I've never like done a workout class before or anything, but like truly I just love it so much and it's like inspired me to like get it together and like know that hey, I need to take care of me. Like this is about taking care of me, you know? So I just thank you. Thank you from
Mm-hmm.
one Christian mama who needed this and wish I've had
Yes.
this. Like I said, I really have, and
Thank you.
I struggled with my body image truly up until I had my second baby. And whenever I like, and my self worth and everything, or my third baby, sorry, my last baby. Um, and when I found Christ, that's whenever I was able to like kind of break those chains off of me. Like the world, I'm never gonna measure up enough to the world. Like, and just having people advocate for you and like show you like no, like and
Mm-hmm.
really just be biblically like sound and just know how to encourage people because girl, you be in there getting it and just encouraging. I'm like, I need like half the motivation she has. Um, so so
Thank you.
with your new program, because I don't know if you have like a time limit. We're approaching the hour mark, so I don't want it to like run
Hmm.
over too much. But I feel like we have stuff to talk about. Okay, um, we I
You're
wanted to
good.
talk about your program, which starts on Monday, which is so awesome. I love that you have so many different levels, so you're giving access to your
Yes.
workouts, which is so amazing to people who might not be able to get the top level, like the one-on-ones with you and the things. Like you're still making sure like
Yep.
people have access to this. So if you just want to like tell us about it, how you came up with this plan, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So the program is free and 40, like Court has said before. And honestly, this was not a program I had on my list to even remotely do this year. So basically, at the end of every year, I go through and I create the programs that I'm going to do. And I kind of figure out what they're going to be like, how long they're going to be. And I had a completely different program in place. And then I finished my last program, which was Mama Fit Revival. And towards the end of that, I just felt pushed like a pull. You need to do one that really truthfully is like faith-based, like not just
Mhm.
saying it and you're mentioning me here or there in the workouts, like truthfully bring me to the center of it, and you're going to create a devotional for it. And I was like, oh, I am not an author. I am not a writer. I don't know what in the world, but you know what? We'll roll with it. It was
Yeah.
something that for weeks I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, me, are you sure about this one? Because I don't know. And so I started planning it. And yeah, so it is why I named it Free and 40 first. That's like one that I think is really important to consider, is that 40 is quite a significant number in the Bible. Like there's
Mhm.
40 is a time that we see it's used for testing, it's used for preparation, it's used for kind of like, if you also will, like kind of like a probation period, if that's like the right word for it, like a probation purification kind of period, if you will. You know, we see the 40 days of rain. We see the 40
Mhm.
years of wandering in the wilderness. We see the 40 days getting the law from God. We see the 40 days that Jesus himself was tempted. And all of those are doing different things with, whether it's preparing somebody for what's to come, it's testing the faith, it's having somebody have to practice humility and be purified. And anyway, so Free and 40 being the 40 days, a time where we are really truthfully going to you're going to put your faith to test. You're going to challenge yourself with that. Can you truthfully give it over to God for 40 days? See what 40 days can do.
Mhm.
Can you truthfully just rely solely on him during that 40 days? Not paying attention to the scale, not paying attention to that tape measure, not paying attention to X, Y, and Z, but can you truthfully pay attention to what God's showing you through how your body is responding? Can you pay attention to how your relationship with him is growing and not how you're trying to please somebody or meet some sort of standard? So it's 40 days long. It mimics somewhat 75 hard. Now, it
Mhm.
doesn't have the same exact rules. It has some rules that are the similar, but it has some pretty different ones. And not only that, but its main goals are to help moms get closer to God. First and foremost, get closer to God, learn your identity, your purpose, your value through him, not through what social media is telling you, because it's all out there. We're all reading it, we're all seeing it, and it's just
Mhm.
it's not good for us. The second thing is to honestly and truthfully love who you are. Love
Mhm.
who you are as a mom and what your body looks like. Because something that I like to say all the time is it's okay not to like what your body's looking like or
Mhm.
the phase that it's in, but it's important to remember that it's just a phase. It is just a phase and it can easily be changed. but you need to love it. You need to love it regardless, because it's a gift. It is doing so much for you. It's not always perfect, but it is doing a lot for you, and it's continuing to do it for you. And it's where the Holy Spirit resides. So take care of it and love it. And then lastly, of course, the goals of what everybody has: lose weight, gain some strength, have some energy, also just have a newfound confidence in yourself. And so the breakdown of it, like I said, mimic 75 hard. There's going to be a guide that if you join it, even if you do it free, which I'll talk about the different ways that you can do it, which one of them is free, but you will have access to the guide. And the guide in there is like an intro to the program, a little intro about me for anybody that doesn't know me, but then it goes in and talks about what you can expect if you're pregnant, if you're postpartum, what you need to be doing, beginners, advanced, all those different things. But it also talks about the rules for it. So you're going to get in on the rules. You're going to see what you should not be doing. And you're also going to get the calendars. Now the calendar is going to break it up to where you can look at the workouts, and you can also look at with the Devo. The Devo is done every single day, but of course there's only 5 workouts a week, so you have some rest time in there. The workouts are capped at 35 minutes. They will not go over that. If they do, it's because I'm talking, and you can check out at any point in time. As far as things that are needed, dumbbells and a foam roller are what's going to be needed. Bands are completely optional. They're there if you want a little extra resistance. There are times that I use, because everything's already filmed, but there are times that I use like a core ball, but that can be subbed out with like a pillow or a rolled up towel, stuff like that. There's some more stuff with it that is different if you go the purchase route, but you can do this for free. So on Monday, it's going to get uploaded to my YouTube. There are no restrictions on it. There's going to be a link in the description that you can click on, and it will bring you to where you can download the calendar. And that'll give you the information on everything. If you want to do just the workouts and have just the devotion and you don't want anything else with it, you can also purchase that separately. So it's kind of, you pick and choose what you want, what you value. Now, if you want kind of like the all-encompassing part of it, this is going to be what's called the Challenger option. And this option is going to get you access to my Mama Fit community. It's an online community of just moms working on their health and fitness. You're going to have access to it during the whole entire challenge. The Challenger option is a one-time payment. It's not like you're going on a subscription or it's going to trick you and now you're paying something later when it's done. You pay for it. Once your time's done with everything. But you get access to the Mama Fit community. You're going to get fitness and nutrition guides and trackers. You have the option to do a one-on-one call with me. And during this time is when you can ask me like anything and everything. How can I... Oh, hold on. It's telling me there's inactivity.
I know, I had to do one too.
But during this time is when you can, oh no, okay. It's telling me that it's going to end, but it's not showing me a puzzle piece to do.
Oh, did it
like,
fix
how
it?
do I get it to let me do this?
Oh no, this is the first time I ever had to do a puzzle piece.
It's still showing me that it's going to end in 4 minutes, but it's not giving me.
What? If we have to end it,
how to make it do this.
If you cut off again, I'll just re-invite you back in.
I can try and talk through it very quickly. Okay, so I'll try and like go through the last little part of this real quick, and then if need be, we can throw me back in. Like I said, the Challenger option comes with all that. It comes with the Devo, so you'll get the Devo. You have the option of a one-on-one call with me where like, if you're like, hey, I struggle with nutrition, give me as much advice, give me whatever you can to help me with this. If you struggle with just staying on track with your workouts, you can ask me that too. How do I get prepped and ready for this? There's a t-shirt. There's actually 2 different options for a t-shirt. So when you sign up, you'll get a link. You can go and pick whatever t-shirt you want, and I'll get it sent your way. There'll be live workouts, bonus material, live info sessions, stuff like that for those who choose the Challenger option. So like I said, you can do it for free. You can do the workouts for free and just snag the Devo if you want. You can do the Challenger option and get everything else on top of it. It's for 40 days, so 6 weeks in total. There is a sale going on right now, so it knocks down the price of the Challenger option and the Devo option, depending on what you want. But again, it can be done totally for free, and you just have to go straight to my YouTube channel and that's where everything's going to be.
And where do
it looks like it's thinking about trying to get this puzzle piece going, so we'll see if it does this.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. If not, like I said, if it kicks you off, we'll just add you right back in. TikTok, man. So where would people go to
Okay.
like go to your TikTok and message you, Instagram message you? How would they be able to get the information so that they could join?
Either they can go to TikTok, message me. They can go to Instagram. I mean, if we're not following each other, it goes straight to my requests. So just give me a little bit as I like try and figure those out. If not, I'm trying to figure out how to say this to where it doesn't get upset.
Yeah.
The part in my profile, it's right there. If you click on that, the very first button actually talks about the sale. If you click on the sale, scroll down to where it says Challenger, that's where you can look at the information for it again and see if it's a fit for you. But again, if you have any questions, messaging me on here or on Instagram is probably going to be the best. And my Instagram is the same as my TikTok name, so that's not different.
Okay, awesome. I think I've been praying on it, and I'm like, I really think that I'm in a place where I feel like this would be so beneficial for me. So I'm
Thank
going
you.
to try to do this. At least the workout and devotion part, because I just think it would be so great because
Okay.
me and my husband, like, we always talk about we want to get back into working out. As you can see, like right here, we have this little boxing thing. All along this wall is workout material, like workout things, but we just don't do it. We just don't do it. And I'm like, I feel so sluggish and unhealthy. Like, I just want to like get my body moving, get some natural energy going. So hopefully I can do this with you and you'll be and I'll be getting that Devo. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna
Yes.
ask if I'm like one just so grateful that you decided to come on with me. Thank you so so much for letting me reschedule. We talked about what happened. It was very embarrassing. Um, we'll never be
Thank you
eating.
for having me.
We'll never be eating from that place ever again. My cousin texted me. She was like, "I got sick from that place too." I'm like, "Well, okay, thanks for telling me now." But yeah, just thank you so much. And I was gonna see because I just think you are the most beautiful prayer ever. If you wanted to close us out in prayer tonight.
Well, thank you. Yes, give me just a second. I'm trying to do this puzzle, but for some reason it's lagging so much.
Oh my gosh.
The first time I tried to do it, it like swung the puzzle piece the other way and said, can't do it. So let me see if I can.
The enemy, we
I'm trying to do
rebuke
it
this.
now, but it keeps just like moving. It's not stopping. It like won't stop moving.
We're rebuking this
yes,
energy.
let me do this. Just let me move the puzzle piece. Oh, and now it's frozen. Okay, I'm just gonna pray.
Let's
it's
go
gonna
for
tell
it.
me I'm false. It's gonna tell me that I failed again, but I'm just gonna pray. Let's hope I can get it done in these 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so, so much for tonight. Again, just thank you for allowing us to come together. The way that you introduced us, the way that you brought us, like it is so unique. Who would have thought randomly scrolling on TikTok, we would just happen to meet at the same Bible study with some random girl named Rachel, who is amazing and wonderful. And God, I thank you for how you make things work. Like sometimes it doesn't make sense to us, but you just bring us to it. And I think all of our stories can attest to that. And especially the story I've shared tonight, like it just showed you through and through. It showed you how one thing wasn't working and you happened to make something else work because it's your plan. It's how you have it designed to go and how you want it to be. And we can create our own plans, right? But you are the one who creates the steps. You are the one who has the path for it. And God, I thank you for where you've brought us today, for allowing this live to happen, for allowing Court to feel better. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that you were feeling so bad. But thank you for just allowing her to feel better and for us to be able to hop on here and to talk about faith, talk about you, talk about fitness and moms and all the things that we struggle through. And God, I want to thank you. Like, I don't think we can thank you enough for how much you try to show us, and we're the ones that don't want to see it, but to show us how valued we are, how loved we are, and how important we are. And you try to remind us of our identity. And God, I just pray that whoever needed to hear this tonight hears it. And no matter what, that they see something in what was spoken about, and they can hold tight to that, and they can know the truth of who you are and who you say they are, and that they can run with it, that they can draw closer to you with it somehow, some way. And God, again, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for the friends that you have brought into my life through just an app. But God, just thank you so much for how good you are, how wonderful you are, and for everything that you have done and you are continuing to do. God, I love you. I thank you. And it is in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. We
It
got
tells me I
through
have
it.
1 minute
You did
left.
so great. Woo woo. Thank you so much once again. I am just so grateful that God did bring us together, and like you were such a beautiful person that he knew I needed in my life. So I'm so glad to have you in my corner, and thank you for coming
Yes.
on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much
Mm.
for having me.
So I know I'm sure we'll hear from each other, whether it's in the group chat or online. And on Monday, I will be right there with you trying to do this, try to do this and get my confidence back.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you so much, girl. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Talk soon.